Hi. We didn't manage to record Isaiah 55 in church when I preached on it last Sunday, so I'm just going to fill you in on that talk now and record that for you. The title was How Can I Be Truly Satisfied? And it's Isaiah 55 verses 1 to 5. The Rolling Stones wrote a song called I Can't Get No Satisfaction about consumerism, capitalism, sexual frustration. U2 wrote some lyrics with a similar feel to them. They said, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. We're all looking for fulfillment. We're looking for contentment. We never quite get there. We never find it. Romantic movies tell us that we'll find it by finding our soulmates, by falling in love, feeling whole, feeling complete. But that just asks too much of any relationship. That's too much pressure. No human being can give us that, can give us everything that we're looking for. So even the best relationships will fall a little short of that. And so that's how in our culture we end up with serial monogamy, one broken relationship after another, because we just can't find the fulfillment and the wholeness that we were looking for. Sometimes capitalism tells us that we just need a rewarding job, a career, we need to make something of ourselves, we need to do well in our education, and that will make us fulfilled and that will give us what we're looking for. But somehow we just find it doesn't work that way. Work is overwhelming. We try harder and harder. We never feel on top of it. We go from one job to another, hoping the next one might be better, but it's the same story each time. Or we feel, well, if I have a family, if I'm able to have a family, I'll be content. And then if you manage to have children, you discover that you can only be as happy as your least happy child. The more children you have, the more of a problem that turns out to be. And so you end up having to work hard at their contentment and their fulfillment in the same way that you have with your own. And so there's this pressure to make sure they've got the best school grades and they're learning how to play oboe and do gymnastics and learn Japanese, and you're just a taxi service trying to keep up with all of this with your children. Sometimes that search for what we're looking for, the desire that begins in our hearts, can become a habit, and a habit can become a dependency. It can be then reinforced biologically. It might be drink or drugs or gambling or gaming. It offers us just a little of what we need for a moment, for a time. And we feel that's what we need, and it's never enough. It leaves us feeling that we want more. It never leaves us feeling okay. It's the same with lust, with pornography, with casual sex. We think this will be, for a moment maybe, it gives us that feeling that we're looking for, but then leaves us empty. And it's like a thirst that instead of making us less thirsty, makes us more thirsty and makes us chasing more and more. You may remember Matthew Perry, the actor who played Chandler in the 1990s comedy called Friends. He longed for success. He wrote about it in his biography. I yearned for it more than any other person on the face of the planet. I needed it. It was the only thing that would fix me. I was certain of it. He gave it everything. He became rich, famous. He married a model star, a movie star, Julia Roberts, a model. But it didn't give him what he longed for. The marriage broke down. He was often drunk on set. He became addicted to ketamine. He died of an overdose, after an overdose, in October 2023. He once said, I think you actually have to have all your dreams come true to realise they are the wrong dreams. How can I be truly satisfied? Well, Isaiah 55 is saying, come to Christ. Come to Christ. That's how. That's what we're searching for. That's what we really need. That's what we're made for, to come to Christ. You may remember Isaiah, if you've been following this series, has been talking about the cross of Christ, the suffering servant, as Isaiah describes him. Jesus dying for us on the cross in chapter 53 of Isaiah. That is the key for the people that he's preaching to. He's talking about going from a ruined Jerusalem, a ruined city of Jerusalem as it was for his readers, and how to get to the renewed Jerusalem that God is promising. And really the key to that is the cross. That's the way from one to the other. It's the death of Jesus on the cross, because the real problem in our lives is that we are broken and damaged, and The problem is our relationship with God. We need to be reconciled to God. We're separated from him. We need to be reconciled to him, and the cross is the answer. Jesus pays the price so that we're forgiven and pardoned and loved and welcomed and restored into a relationship with God through the cross. So that's what we've been seeing earlier in Isaiah. So Isaiah 53, chapter 53 ends with this sentence: for he, that means Jesus, the suffering servant, he bore the sin of many and made intercession for the transgressors. Jesus carried our disobedience to God, our sinfulness. He carried it away and took it onto himself and suffered on the cross in our place, taking away that guilt, that punishment that we deserve, and made intercession for the transgressors. As he died, as he was on the cross, he prayed, Father, forgive them. And the death of Jesus is a prayer, an intercession that goes to God so that he forgives those who turned away from him. That was the end of chapter 53. Last sentence in chapter 54. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and this is their vindication from you. That's what we receive if we come to Christ. We receive that forgiveness. And so chapter 55 moves into invitation. We've had the announcement, all is forgiven. Jesus died for you. God opens his arms and welcomes you and loves you. That's the announcement. Now we move to the invitation. Receive that forgiveness. Come and be part of that. Come and receive all the blessings of that. That's what Isaiah 55 is saying. It's saying, come to Christ. In fact, it's there 12 times. There are 12 words in chapter 55 that are invitation words, urging, appealing. It's called a jussive, a word in the jussive in the Hebrew. It means come. 4 times in verse 1, come, 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 come. Verse 2, listen to me. Verse 3, give ear and come to me. Listen. Verse 6, seek the Lord, call on him. Verse 7, turn to the Lord. That's what this chapter is urging us to do. We're going to unpack the benefits of coming to Jesus with 4 words as we look at this chapter together. The first word, coming to Jesus, it's free. It's free from verse 1. There's nothing we do to earn or deserve this or earn it. It's paid for by the death of Jesus. It is free. Read with me verse 1, chapter 55 of Isaiah, verse 1. Come, all you who are thirsty. Come to the waters. And you who have no money, come buy and eat. Come buy wine and milk without money and without cost. He's saying, come, all you who are thirsty. Everyone, anyone, not just those who deserve it, not those who've earned it, not those who've done enough and achieved enough. All you need is thirst. All you need is to want it, to long for it, to know that hunger that we experience, that hunger in our souls to be made whole. If you thirst, you can come to the waters. In fact, better than waters, he says, come for milk and wine. They were luxuries in those days, the most expensive and the most costly things. And then he says, look, you can buy it without money, verse 1. You who have no money, come buy and eat. Come buy wine and milk without money, without cost. It's not going to cost you anything, because Jesus has paid that price when he died on the cross. So for those who receive it, it's completely free. I think this idea of buying without money, it's almost as if God is saying, look, this is even better than a charitable gift. Imagine you're queuing up for a soup kitchen and you depend on this and you're grateful that this food is available free. And Jesus comes to you at the front of the queue and he says, look, I'm going to give you something even better than this. And he takes out his credit card and he says there's no limit on this credit card. You spend as much as you like because it's my credit. And let's not spend it here at the soup kitchen. Let me take you to a 3-star Michelin restaurant, to a hotel. Let's have a banquet. Have breakfast put on, cooked for you in person by Jamie Oliver. Afternoon tea, Mary Berry will bake the cakes. Dinner, Gordon Ramsay will do that for you. Spend as much as you like. It's my credit. You see, you and I don't have currency with God. And we don't need to. We don't need to pay for this. We don't need to make up for what we've done wrong. We don't need to say, look, God, look, I've led a good life. Look at me. I've earned this. I deserve this. I'm good. No, Jesus says, look at my life and my death for you. Let that be the currency that you pay for. Let that be what you're rewarded for. Jesus lived the perfect life. He's the most precious life that ever lived. He's more loved. God, the Father, loved his Son eternally, and that is the life. That is the price that was paid. Infinite value. So that we can receive far more than we could ever want or imagine from him. It is free. That's the first word. It's free. Come to Jesus. It's free. Come to Jesus. It's free, and it's satisfaction. That's the second word. It's satisfaction. And that's chapter 55, verse 2. Why spend money on what is not bread, and your labour on what does not satisfy? Listen to me and eat what is good, and you will delight in the richest of fare. Coming to Christ gives us the fulfillment we've been looking for and can't find. Why spend money on what is not bread, what does not satisfy? That's life without Christ. That's what we are like when we're searching elsewhere, looking other than Christ, trying to find other ways to find fulfillment and wholeness. That's not bread. And that doesn't satisfy. See, there's two problems with what we're looking for. Two problems with looking in the wrong places. Firstly, we're having to spend money, verse 2. We're having to labour, verse 2. You don't need to do that. Jesus is giving it to us completely for free because of Jesus. We're slave away. We work hard all our lives. It's really costly for us to try and get what we think we need. And we didn't need to, because Jesus said, look, I've paid for it. Hey, have it for free. That's the first problem. We're wasting our energies and our efforts slaving for something that is free. That's the first problem. The second problem is even when you get it, it's not bread. It doesn't satisfy. It doesn't even deliver. You put all that effort in and you get nothing back. It's like celery and sweet corn. I don't know if this is really true, but I'm told that celery has so few calories that you could use up all of those calories just going to the shelf and getting it off the shelf and chopping it up and eating it. You know, you'd be worse off than if you hadn't had celery. And sweet corn is not, the human body can't digest it properly. It just comes right out, just looking the same as it did when it went in. It's not real food. It's fake food. And just imagine that all you're eating, you're all day, every day, you're constantly eating celery and sweet corn, and you're just starving physically. You're dying because it's not real food. It's the places that we go for satisfaction and fulfillment. They may not be poisoned. Sometimes they are, but they may not be. But even if they're not poisoned, they're not fulfilling. They're not giving us what we're looking for. Graham Norton interviewed Matt Damon a few years ago, Matt Damon the actor, and said to him, look, how did you feel when you were only 25 and no one had really heard of you, and your first big movie, you won an Oscar, low budget movie, you started with it, and you won an Oscar first time. How did you feel? And Matt Damon said, well, I couldn't sleep that night. I just stared at the Oscar. I looked at my Oscar. Here's what he said. I looked at my Oscar and thought, wow, I would have spent my whole life chasing that, my whole life. And for what? There's a better way. There's a better way to find fulfillment and wholeness and rightness, and that is end of verse 2. Listen to me, God says. Eat what is good. You'll delight in the richest of fare, to enjoy Jesus, to know Jesus, to come to him and know that you're loved and accepted with no strings attached, nothing to prove, nothing to hide, to have that weight of guilt lifted from you, to live your life as Jesus would live it, a gift from him, a life, a good life, a better life, a whole life, a pure life, a gift from him. A life that has a goal and purpose and meaning that really matters, that gets somewhere, that is lasting. Life that satisfies. That's the second word then. It is free. It satisfies. The third word, it's forever. It's forever, verse 3. The life from Jesus is satisfying even now, but better than that, it's also for after we die, forever. So verse 3, Isaiah 55 verse 3, give ear and come to me. Listen that you may live. I will make an everlasting covenant with you, my faithful love promised to David. Listen, verse 3, listen that you may live. This is life or death. This is the key. More literally, it would be translated, listen that your soul may live. It's not just about physical resurrection of the body. It is that, but it's even more than that. It's the whole person. It's the soul, the person that you are on the inside as well. We saw in Isaiah 53 that Jesus died so that many would be forgiven. And then that he lives on after that death. And he gets to see, verse 53, gets to see offspring, new life for others, for those that are forgiven. You see his death and his resurrection bring about eternal life for those who come to Jesus. Verse 3 says, I will make an everlasting covenant. A covenant means a pledge, a promise, a legal commitment, a binding promise from God to his people that he won't ever back out of. They might have thought, well, that covenant doesn't last. The covenant with Jerusalem seems not to have lasted because the people of God turned away from God, and the city was conquered, it was invaded, it was destroyed. They might say, well, that covenant didn't last. But no, God says it's an everlasting covenant because of Jesus, because of the cross, because Jesus paid the price so that God freely forgives those who come back to him. And so now that is an everlasting covenant. It's the same love that God promised to David. By this time, David has been dead for centuries. But Isaiah is thinking back to David and thinking, remembering that story of God's faithful love to David. God promised David that he would always have a descendant on the throne of Jerusalem forever. And Jesus, of course, is that descendant. He rules forever because he rose from the dead. Came to Jerusalem to suffer and die for the people, to rise from the dead, and now he rules forever, all those who come to Christ. Now, have you seen how much that matters? That everything we work for and strive for now in this life is wasted. We get to retirement, we're still trying to find that fulfillment. We've worked so hard and work was so difficult, and we just think, well, it's got to make it worthwhile, got to make it worth something. So let's find that in retirement. Let's travel and see everywhere we've ever wanted to go and enjoy it. And let's buy some lovely new place to live, and it'll make it into a little paradise. But of course, even in retirement, that doesn't work. We might find actually retirement is shorter than we thought, or there's some major health issue that makes it very difficult to do things or difficult to enjoy things. And we thought, well, the whole thing has been wasted and spoiled. But with Jesus, you're not running out of time. With Jesus, you don't need to tick off your bucket list. It'll be so much better in the new creation anyway. You'll have a new resurrected body. All those places you want to visit, well, they're broken and they're fallen and they're affected by sin in a fallen world. Wait till the new creation. You'll see it when it's finished. You'll see it at its best. You'll have the real experience then. The home that we have in heaven with God is our real home. The home that we're made for and longing for. So come to Christ then. 3 words. It's free. It's satisfaction, fulfillment. It's forever. And then the 4th word is share. It's something to share with others. When you say yes to this wonderful invitation, you just find it so good you want to invite others to be part of it. Verses 4 and 5, chapter 55, verse 4 and 5. See, I've made David, a witness to the peoples, a ruler and commander of the peoples. Just notice there, it's not people, singular, it's peoples, plural. I've made David a witness to the peoples, to other nations, a ruler and commander of the peoples, of not just his own people in Jerusalem, but all the peoples. God made David a good news story for the wider world, beyond the people of God. And the same will be true of you, the reader, Isaiah says. Verse 5, verse 4, see, I've made him a witness to the peoples. Verse 5, surely you will summon nations you know not, and nations you do not know will come running to you because of the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel, for he has endowed you with splendor. He's given you something so wonderful, splendor. Then Others are going to come running. They're going to, even people you've never met, never heard of, nations you've never heard of, they'll come running to get this good news of this King of the kingdom of God. That's the story of Jesus, isn't it? Jesus is for all people, all nations. And then he says, as he is about to leave this world, he said to his friends, his followers, you will be my witnesses. Acts chapter 1, verse 8. You will be my witnesses. It'll start here in Jerusalem, in Judea, in Samaria, to the ends of the earth. The people of Jesus who come to him and receive life and satisfaction forever, they go out and they become witnesses to everybody else. And we found that here at St. Matthew's. When people come to know Jesus, there's this excitement. They want to tell their friends. They want to tell their family. We find people have gone from St. Matthew's to other parts of the world to share this good news with strangers they've never met, from different cultures they don't even know when they go. Well, God is inviting us to come and receive this wonderful invitation. 12 times you get the word, 12 times you get the invitation. So I'm just going to finish by speaking on God's behalf and giving us giving you that same invitation. 12 times, bear with me. He says, come. Are you thirsting for something? Are you longing for something? Are you empty? Can you not find what you need? Come to the one who fulfills that emptiness and meets that need more than you ever dreamed possible. Come to him. You don't need to earn it or deserve it, however badly you've lived. Come and receive the very best from Jesus. Listen to Jesus, to the Bible, to that message. Listen to me, God, speaking to you through the Bible and through that message. Give ear, pay attention, let it sink in. Listen really hard and come. Come to me, God says to us. Turn to me, receive life from me. Seek the Lord. Give up your old ways. Call on me, ask for forgiveness and mercy. Turn to me and you will receive it. Free satisfaction forever to share.